Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome. It is Monday. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. This is Naturally Inspired Radio, and I'm so glad you're joining me today. I actually had a great weekend because Jason and I celebrated our 30 years of marriage. 30 years. Now, it's like technically kind of a mishmash because our actual certificate of signing, our marriage license isn't till February, but we were so young and broke that we didn't actually have a wedding until September. So September is our actual when we had our wedding. It's very complicated, but legally, we are about to come up on February, which is our 30th anniversary. So anyway, we celebrate our anniversary on September 20th because that is the day of our wedding. And that is the day we took our vows and whatnot. But 30 years with this guy, let me tell you. It's interesting because coming up on 30 years and then hearing all the stuff about Charlie Kirk's message recently, just encouraging people to get married, have kids, dedicate yourself to somebody. I'm on the other side of that, in terms of I've got 30 years in and I can tell you I don't have any regrets. There's a complexity that grows year after year of being dedicated to somebody in marriage and in growing a life together, in doing life together. It just, when it's hard to put it into words. It's like when you first get married, you're young and like we were 20. It's all about the attraction. It's all about the chemistry. It's all about the attraction, I guess, is the best way to put it. Things on the surface, really. And it's interesting how the natural progress of a relationship, how God designed us to interact with each other as man and wife, because you have no idea how complex this thing's going to get. How deep it's going to get, how when you dedicate yourself to somebody else, just how, like I said, I struggle to put it into words, It's loyalty, it's love, it's dedication, it's all these things that they just have to grow over time. And so it's interesting that God uses like attraction to pair us up, to dedicate ourselves together, but you really don't get the payoff of the complexity of putting time into a marriage until many, many years down the road. How lucky, how blessed are we to have one person on the earth that has completely committed themselves to us. There's a lot of things we could do with our lives, but this person, your spouse, picked you. And if you do the work and you put into it every day, just a little bit, not every day is going to be pretty. Not every day is perfect. Gosh, you go through these seasons up and down, but if you really stick to it and commit to it, know that you are creating something so beautiful. That life is totally messy and relationships and marriages are messy. But if you truly commit to it, you're going to have the most beautiful experience with it. So many young people today are enticed away from marriage. They're enticed away, from committing to a partner. And I just think, travel's not going to do it for you. Your job's not going to do it for you. Your career is not going to do it for you. It's going to be this incredibly crazy, messy thing that you build with your spouse that is going to be your greatest accomplishment and is going to bring you the biggest fulfillment. So I hope that lands on the right ears today. I couldn't help but touch on that because of Charlie Kirk's memorial this weekend. And ultimately, his message was family, right? It was family, God, and building something beautiful with your life. And so anyway, today's top topic I want to talk about today is this crazy ability that we have to play mental gymnastics and continue to sow division. It's just fascinating to me. So I'll share my perspective with you on that. And then the White House is having, as we speak, I believe, a presser about the announcement of the link to vaccines and autism. I've got some information prepared for you, and then Jason is going to keep me updated as they make announcements on that. Because as I was coming on here, they still hadn't even started yet. So we're gonna talk about that. Vietnam is implementing a globalist blueprint. Yeah. In Vietnam, they've rolled out digital ID. It's very sneaky here. How the globalists are trialing this digital ID in these, different countries. We've seen it in India. Now, we're seeing it in Vietnam. Make no mistake, it's going to try to come here as well. I also have some great information from another doctor, Dr. Kathleen Ruddy, on ivermectin therapy. So that's going to be really cool to cover that. And then I want to talk about cholesterol for our health topic today. Such a great show planned for you today. Let's get started here because it's going to get a little controversial. Imagine that. A little controversy. Let's go straight to my first clip here. I want to introduce you to, I'm sure you may know him, Don Lemon. But Don Lemon really surprised. Well, it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise. I shouldn't say it's a surprise, but it is just kind of like, wow. The mental gymnastics that these people have to play in order to support their agenda is something else. Let me tell you. Let's go to the clip.
And these are the things that they said Charlie Kirk stood for. He was a man of faith. And the reason that struck me so is because I got a text from a friend who said, I am a black woman. The person who babysits my child is a black woman from Jamaica. And she says, Charlie Kirk was a person of faith. And I say to them, okay, so what does that mean, a person of faith? How does a person of faith act? How does a person who really believes in what God and the scriptures say, the true meaning of it, not the distorted meaning, how would they treat the least of these? So what I say now is that what happened in Arizona this weekend was not just a memorial, it was something else entirely. People will tell you that it is about grief. It was about grief, about honoring a man's life, about faith. And on the surface, maybe it looked like that. Tens of thousands gathered. The music swelled. I'm sure some of you saw it. I just saw some of the sound bites. There were prayers and tears and moments of silence. But if you stayed long enough for the little bit that I could stay, and then I said, you know what, I'm out. If you listen long enough and close enough, if you stayed long enough and you listen close enough, you could feel the ground shifting beneath you, because that wasn't just about a man who died. This was about a movement claiming divine permission to rule. Can I get a witness? And all of the sound bites and the words used will reveal to you exactly what I said. It was a revival meeting wrapped in a memorial. I'm from the South, Southern.
I don't even know what to say. The mental gymnastics, let me tell you this. Don Lemon has nothing without division. And so division he shall sow. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to unpack this one. It's a gooder. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturalinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturalinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturalinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturalinspiredradio.com.
Did you know that Naturally Inspired Radio is on over 100 video podcast and social media platforms? Just search on your favorite platform for Tammy Cuthbert Garcia or Naturally Inspired Radio and help us reach more people by liking our posts, following our channels, and leaving a comment in the chat. And don't forget, you can always visit naturalinspiredradio.com for an updated list of where we are featured online and on radio. So visit today, naturalinspiredradio.com. Let's unpack this, shall we? Because I just find this actually kind of hilarious. In this whole little rant, this little Don Lemon thing I saw here, he's talking about how it's divine permission to rule. We are asking for divine permission to rule. This is white nationalism. Well, it's weird because if you look at Don Lemon's shirt, it says Lemon Nation. Are you trying to rule your own nation, Don Lemon? Seriously, but here's what I'm saying is that, you know, this is where the neural pathways come into play, where we try to understand people and why they're thinking the way they're thinking. And it's in large part because they're stuck on a loop, stuck on a neural pathway loop over and over and over again. They think, I'm the victim, I'm the victim, I'm the victim. And they have certain vocabulary that reinforces that way of thinking, reinforces that neural pathway. And Don Lemon has a victim mentality for his race. He continues, I'm a black, he's talking about his friend. I'm a black woman. I'm a black, I have a black nanny. Who cares? Who cares? Are you a good person or are you a bad person? I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. We're all tired of it, people. We're all tired. Your neurological pattern pathway there is just on repeat. And so you can't get off of it. So everything you watch and look at is under this filter. You have to see race in every scenario. You have to see, how am I victimized here? Where's my victim? Where's my victim pathway? It's like, it's mental gymnastics, because they're trying to stick to their neural pathway, that loop that they're stuck on over and over and over again. How am I victimized in this scenario? How do I fit into this scenario? It's like a narcissism type of defect, right? Where you can't even think outside yourself. And that's what I see with people. And especially with Don Lemon. Like, it's just fascinating to me how he can make that rally, right? That revival, that memorial, which was done in true Charlie Kirk fashion. He dedicates his life to that. That very thing that we saw yesterday. That's what his work was about. It was about being a Christian. It was about leading other people to Christ. It was politics. He was fiercely passionate about politics, and he intertwined that with his faith. Like that was a memorial of Charlie Kirk. So yeah, it was all about faith and Christianity and politics, because that's who Charlie Kirk was. I don't know, Don Lemon. The memorial wasn't maybe for you. And that's okay. It wasn't for me either. I watched it, but the memorial wasn't catered for me. It wasn't catered for you. It was catered for Charlie, as a representation of his life, and to connect people to a way to express themselves, their loss. That's what it was for. So maybe it wasn't for you, Don Lemon, because maybe you're not grieving in that way. Maybe you obviously did not agree with anything that Charlie Kirk said. So, hey, it's okay. Nobody is making you listen to it. Nobody's making you go to it. When you attack it, though, what you're doing is you're showing us how weak you are. You don't have anything else to talk about, and you must continue the division. You must continue the division. These people are addicted to the division because that's their content. Without sowing seeds of division, they don't have anything to talk about. Again, their neural pathway loop is divisive and fight. And so it's got to keep going. The fight's got to keep going. Otherwise, they don't know what to do with themselves. So lots of people, coming out on social media, proving that point, that there must always be division in their life. Here's another tweet that I actually saw this morning. And, I like this actress. But again, why? Look at this. This is from Patricia Heaton. I beg conservatives, especially podcasters, to stop giving Tucker Carlson any exposure. Stop going on his show. There's something really wrong with him. My spidey sense was triggered the first time I ever heard him and his creepy laugh. Well, I'll be the first to say that I've also been accused of laughing inappropriate times. I don't know why I do that, but I do. And I think Tucker does too. And here, let me try to, and I think it's actually one of the reasons why Tucker resonates with me when he discovers things and when he talks about things, because it's almost like this disbelief in your brain. Like, are you really trying to pass that off on me? Are you really trying? Is that real? Are you really trying? Like, it's so despicable, maybe. It's so crazy. It's such an offense that you laugh. Because maybe you're not one that, cries. And so you laugh instead of crying. And that's totally me. Like, are you really? You have the audacity to try to lie to my face? You have the audacity to kill something good because you do not want the truth out. Really? That's how you are? Wow. And I think that's what Tucker was getting at as he was telling the biblical story that he shared during his speech yesterday at Charlie Kirk's memorial. I have another clip for you here I want to share with you because, everybody's got a different perspective. And I think that's totally okay. Everybody can have their different perspective. However, just be aware that people have their reasons for playing the mental gymnastics. They read into things and they make it about them. This is a clip from PBD podcast today, and they had a totally different take on Tucker. Listen to this.
When he talked about Jesus, that's the one.
It is
that's the main one.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
how
that
this
one.
guy opened it up.
And he does the laugh. I think that's the one where he laughs.
Oh, it is unbelievable.
For speaking the truth.
The story Tucker told. Is this the one, Rob?
Yes, right here.
Watch this one, folks. Listen to this one.
Ultimately, he was a Christian evangelist. And it actually reminds me of my favorite story ever. So it's about 2,000 years ago in Jerusalem, and Jesus shows up and he starts talking about the people in power, and he starts doing the worst thing that you can do, which is telling the truth about people, and they hate it, and they just go bonkers. They hate it, and they become obsessed with making him stop. This guy's got to stop talking. We've got to shut this guy up. And I can just sort of picture the scene in a lamplit room with a bunch of guys sitting around eating hummus, thinking about what do we do about this guy telling the truth about us? We must make him stop talking. And there's always one guy with the bright idea, and I can just hear him say, I've got an idea, why don't we just kill him? Jeez. That'll shut him up. That'll fix the problem. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Everything is inverted.
Now, what'd you think about that message?
The message that Tucker gave immediately was getting heat as people were connecting dots and saying,
Stay tuned. We'll unpack that when we come back. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio.
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty. They're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them, and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Greska's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Greska's C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Greska's C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code TAMMY at checkout for a special discount.
We're back. Thanks so much for joining me today. I want to remind you that I do a free 30-minute assessment. Yeah, a little time together where you and I sit down. We see what might be keeping you from your optimum health. So just a great opportunity to pinpoint some of the things, maybe in nutrition, maybe in movement, maybe environmental stuff, what might be keeping you from your optimum health. You can book your free 30-minute assessment right now at naturallyinspiredstore.com. Get on my schedule and get into the Naturally Inspired community. We have a great weekly wellness workshop coming up tomorrow night. Actually, we're going to be talking about SSRIs. You're not going to want to miss it. So head on over there today, naturallyinspiredstore.com. Let me just tell you, when I woke up this morning, and I started my day, and then I started preparing for the show today, I got onto my social media feed on X, and it was filled with Tucker negativity. Filled. It's just kind of fascinating to me because I just happen to notice that none of these people I follow on X. So, all of you that I do follow, which I actually like seeing your tweets and the information that you're putting. I don't actually get to see yours. I have to go looking for the people I follow. But my feed was curated in a way today that, I could just swear somebody was trying to get me to just really not like Tucker Carlson. And I'll tell you this. Stop telling me what to think. You really, the algorithm, the noise of the world, the influencers. I'm so sick of you. I just need like a couple of years of nobody telling me what to think. Nobody telling me what to do. Nobody telling me, oh, be careful about this creepy guy, right? Like, I just stick to the facts for a while. You know what I mean? Because I think we just all got so full over COVID. There's just no room left There is no room left for you to tell me what to think. I just don't have any. So all filled up. No more telling me what to do, okay? So immediately when people start telling me what to think, I think, why do they want me to think this? What could possibly be the agenda here that is wanting me to really dislike Tucker Carlson? That's what I think. Because I watched Charlie Kirk's thing yesterday and I heard Tucker give his speech, and I never thought for 1 minute that it was derogatory towards another group of people. He was talking to a group of Christians, and those are his people, right? He's a Christian. Those are his people, and they were mourning a friend of theirs. And so, yeah, they're going to talk about the way they relate, because that's what humans do. We relate to one another. And so I don't know where people are getting this idea, but that was a private event, right? Open to the public, but held by a private company. And so, yeah, they're going to talk about the things that they have in common. I just don't understand why this is so difficult for other people to understand. It made me think okay, so yeah, you were not promised. If you're from another country, I'm from another country, right? I was born and raised in Canada. I moved to America. And when I moved to America, I did not think that my mission here would be to turn every American into a Canadian. I didn't try to enforce Canadian culture here. The secondary language here in America is Spanish. In Canada, it's French. So I didn't move here and be like, everybody should be speaking French as their second language. In fact, it never occurred to me. You know why? I was a visitor here. And I moved here knowing I was going to be a visitor here. And so if I wanted to continue to learn French, I was going to have to take that up on my own. But for some reason in America, people think that if they have an allegiance to another country, that's great. I have a certain amount of allegiance to Canada, not very much anymore, because their culture has changed so dramatically. It's hard for me to connect with what they're doing over there culturally. I'm much more connected to the American culture now. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is nobody promised you that your religion, your culture would be showcased here if you moved here from another country or you have allegiance to another country. Nobody promised you that culture, that religion would be showcased here. We promise freedom of religion. It's not a promise to showcase your religion. It's the freedom to practice whatever religion you like. But it doesn't mean it's going to be showcased here. And it doesn't mean that it should be showcased here, because this country has its own culture. It has its own culture. We have forefathers. It was founded on Christianity with the right, the freedom to practice whatever religion you want, but not showcased. You see? So there's some founding principles in this country that are deeply tied into Christianity. And that's because the founding fathers were rooted in Christianity themselves. And so that's become the culture here. And there's many people that were born here and they love it here. This is their home. They have children here. And these are their belief systems. They're tied to that. And you know what? It's so awesome because they welcome everybody here. And you are free to practice whatever religion you want. But that does not mean it will become the showcased culture here. And so if you can't handle that, then I would respectfully say, go live somewhere where your religion is showcased. Because if you can't handle that your religion is not the showcase here in this country, then you probably don't belong here. And that may sound harsh, but it has to be that way. And again, I will tell you why it has to be that way. The reason why it has to be that way is because a group of people living in a country are entitled to have a culture of their own. And they are welcoming to other cultures, but like they need some defining principles. Every country needs some defining principles. That's the cohesiveness that holds the society together. And yes, we can have people on the fringes that practice different things, and it can be small portions of the population, and we can be very, welcoming to those fringes of the population, but we all have to kind of have a cohesive way of living. Again, I'll use another example I always talk about. It's like driving on the street. If too many people decide they're not going to pay attention to green means go, red means stop, yellow means, merge or yield, we're going to have a major problem on the roads, right? The crash, bang, like people are going to die. And so we can't just be all like blah, 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 blah all over the place here. Because again, we need a little cohesiveness here, right? So fine, I get it. I love that people want to come here. I want, and you want to practice your religion. That's what this country was founded on. Practice your religion, but don't take shots at the culture here because it's not showcasing what you would like for it to showcase. Because now you're getting into a territory where you're going to be unwelcome. So be very hesitant, to like take shots at people. I mean, the best way to if you want to make an impact, like you just really, love the way you live and whatnot, be a model for it. Share it. Don't impose it. And when you start taking shots at other people's religion, other people's culture, other people's belief systems, you're not sharing. You're now imposing. Stay tuned. I've got a great naturally inspired moment for you. Ties right into this. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on Mushroom Super Sauce, Her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
I'm getting updates here on the president's announcements with Bobby. Definitely, they're taking precautions to warn pregnant women about taking Tylenol. They're talking about timing when it comes to vaccines. They're also talking about thimerosal and aluminum and mercury. Sounds like there'll be no more Hep B vaccines. We'll see. I'm going to dive into this during the break, but I want to give you up to the minute information on this. Also, what was the other thing that I saw here? They were talking about. So Tylenol's definitely, we saw that coming. But so immediately notifying physicians that Tylenol, acetaminophen during pregnancy can be associated with increased risk of autism. Taking Tylenol is not good. I'll say it. It's not good. That is Trump. 40 to 70% of mothers who have children with autism believe that their child was injured by a vaccine. So this is ongoing. I'll be covering it after the next break at the top of the hour. I want to get to our naturally inspired moment today because I feel like it's a really good one. I've been talking. That's a big thing. I'm getting in the chat here. Trump said cultures that don't take vaccines, like the Amish, have little to no cases of autism. Yes, this is what we've been saying. Also, I'll add to that, in Japan, their vaccine schedule is much more spread out, much less, and they have significantly less rates of autism as well. So this is something we've known for so long. It's so painful because this has taken so long. And how many kids have been injured? Well, anyway, I don't want to get into it right now. We're going to get into it at the top of the hour when we come back after this break. But I do want to get into our naturally inspired moment. I want to bring up this graphic for our naturally inspired moment today because this is called the Map of Consciousness. And Dr. David R. Hawkins developed this Map of Consciousness. You've heard me lately be talking about elevating our higher faculties of consciousness. This is why. Okay. So such a beautiful little graph here. When we are living in higher consciousness, we have more power, we are stronger, versus when we're living in lower consciousness, working with force, trying to force something, we're living in weakness. So just to tie it back into what I was talking about with Don Lemon, the mental gymnastics that people have to play, playing the race card, that's force. He's way down here. He's way down here on the graph, right? He's vindictive. There's anger there. There's aggression. There's lots of bad feelings. So he's operating in force, weaponizing his language, and that's a very weak position to be in. The best thing to do is to, shine above that, right? Point it out. This is what's happening here. This is his experience, and his neural pathways are stuck on this loop of victimization. He's got to get out of the force, the force perspective and the weak perspective, and raise his higher faculties, right? To a more, to emotions and to actions that create power and strength. So, in self, it's all being, it's one, it's loving, it's wise, it's merciful, it's inspiring, enabling, perfect, complete, benign, meaningful, harmonious, hopeful, satisfactory, naturally. These are all levels of this higher, more, point of view that brings strength and power. This lower consciousness vibrates on a lower level, and it leads nowhere good. It leads nowhere good. To sow seeds of division constantly, you're sowing seeds of evil, of anger, of fear, anxiety, regret, despair. Those are all low frequency types of feelings. If you don't like something, simply shine the light on something else. So Dr. David Hawkins created this map of consciousness to show how human emotions and thoughts vibrate at different energy levels, from fear and anger on the lower end to love and enlightenment on the higher end. Understanding it helps us see where we are and how to rise higher. Number 1, consciousness has levels. Every thought, emotion, and belief carries a frequency. Shame and guilt pulls us down, while courage, love, and joy lift us up. Simply becoming aware of this scale is the first step to transformation. The turning point is courage. On Hawkins' map, the frequency of 200 is courage, is the dividing line. Below it, energy is contracting and life-draining, and above it, energy becomes expansive and life-giving. Choosing courage shifts your entire trajectory. Your emotions shape your reality. I say that all the time here. When you live in anger, fear, or pride, you attract struggle and limitation. When you cultivate acceptance, reason, love, you create peace, clarity, and possibility. The map shows us that our emotional state literally maps out our outcomes. Love is a healing frequency. Love, gratitude, compassion are among the highest measurable energies. They not only strengthen your health and relationships, but they ripple outward. So raising the frequency of those around you, you have the power to do that. You can move up the map. The map is not fixed. You are not destined to live in force and weakness. Through awareness, intentional choices, forgiveness, prayer, meditation, healthy living, you can move from lower states like fear and grief into higher states like joy or peace. And growth is always possible. I truly believe that. Growth is a tricky one because growth can be painful, right? And if it's not painful, one might say you're not growing. So it's difficult to embrace growth when you think, oh gosh, this is going to be so painful. But know that if you're not growing, you're not living. So you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable, as they say. You're never stuck where you are. The map of consciousness reminds us that we can always choose to raise our vibration, step into courage, and climb toward love, toward enlightenment. You shift your energy, you shift your life. Now, an even more concrete practice of this is, I describe these neural pathways that we walk figuratively in our mind, right? We're walking on this neural pathway all the time. It's the thought process that we're repeating over and over again. So a very concrete way to identify that is to think before something happens, right? Before you're engaging in low frequency thinking, think about what you thought about right before that. So say, you're like Don Lemon. Let's use him as an example. You're like Don Lemon, and he really gets kicked off here. He starts talking about this, the divine. This was a revival. Like a revival is a bad thing. But he's suggesting that it's a bad thing because these people are in a revival and they don't agree with me. And he actually says here that they're asking God, they're asking a divine presence for permission to rule over everybody else. What are you talking about, Dawn? You're such a drama queen, Really, I mean, that's not what it was. It was a group of people coming together in their own faith because that's how many people share those types of values together. And they come together. That's what they're going to talk about. That's what they're going to express. And so the reason why Don finds that offensive is because he doesn't adhere to those values and principles. But instead of shining the light on his own values and principles, he goes into the low consciousness frequency field. And he tries to bring other people, attract other people to that low frequency level. And that's not productive. If you want to attract people, then upregulate your frequency, upregulate it, shine the light on things that are good. I don't know. Maybe he can't do that. I don't know. I just use him as an example. We can do it ourselves day to day, right? Just by shifting the frequency we choose to operate in. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio, understanding the map of consciousness. Stay tuned. We'll be right back for hour 2.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Nearly 40% of Americans struggle with a $400 emergency expense. An extra $300 a month can be the difference between stability and financial stress.
Are you feeling the pinch of rising expenses? Imagine what an extra $300, $500, or even $1,000 a month can do for you. Introducing a simple 3-step system designed to help you create a steady income without the overwhelm. Step 1, follow our easy-to-use plan. Step 2, take small, consistent actions. Step 3, stay motivated with weekly coaching designed to keep you on track and moving forward. Whether you're saving for a family vacation, paying down debt, or just looking for breathing room, this system is for you. You don't need special skills, just the desire to make change. Join a growing community of success stories today. Visit simpleincome.info or text 720-764-7448.
Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome back. This is hour 2 of Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm so glad you're joining me today. In the first hour, we were talking about just the craziness of the mental gymnastics that people play in order to spin a certain, event into a justified offense to them. So we talking about Charlie Kirk's memorial and how there's, still division within that, people pushing division. I'm telling you, they're addicted to division. Don't let them suck you in. Really, it's just insane. So we were talking about that. And then, of course, we did a naturally inspired moment talking about the map of consciousness, which I find really interesting because all of our emotions, they have frequency. And when we are operating on the lower emotional scale where we have to force, it makes us weak. So it's just, we have to elevate our higher faculties. And that's precisely what I've been talking about here over the last, years, months, weeks of Naturally Inspired is upregulating our higher faculties, right? As we move into this, great reset, this biological revolution, the age of AI, the digital revolution, whatever you want to call it, we all know something's changing. And so I think the antidote to the change is higher elevation of our consciousness. And so I thought that was just a great diagram that was mapped out by Dr. David R. Hawkins, the map of consciousness. So if you missed the first hour, you'll have to plug in after the second hour's done, of course, plug in and catch the first hour because I think it's really powerful and something you can use in your everyday life. Let's talk a little bit about Tylenol. Because, I'm looking on social media. I'm trying to grab the real-time stuff coming out from Trump and Bobby Kennedy's press conference on autism today. Some key highlights. It sounds like Trump's acknowledging that, the Amish have no cases or very few cases of autism, if any, and they do not take vaccines. And so that was one point that he pointed out. We also are going to have this debate. And let me just say this. I think this is a warm-up. I think this is a warm-up. It's going to be, everyone's going to know. But I think this is it's going to be a gradual thing over the next few years. But I guarantee you in 10 years' time, people are going to know exactly the consequences to vaccines. And it's gonna trigger a lot. It's gonna trigger a lot of emotions. I've said this, for weeks now. I think there's going to be people that kind of fall into different categories. There's going to be people who families of autistic children that are biologically, have been biologically injured by injections. They know it. They saw it in front of their face. They watched their kid regress after an injection. They know it. They're going to be, I believe, like in a form of shock and just so grateful that finally people are acknowledging this. That's going to be kind of one group of people. And then there's going to be another group of people that are in shock, that they really weren't sure, didn't know. And maybe they have an autistic child in their family. And this is going to be very shocking to them. It's going to be very jarring as they come to this new information. And then there's going to be another group of people who are going to be cognitively, they're going to be in cognitive dissonance and they will not be able to understand the words. They'll hear them and they'll get angry and they'll revolt against them and they will be defiant and they will call us names and they will continue to, inject. I don't know what we can do about those people. Hopefully, as time goes on, they will go away. The injections will go away because there are better ways to curate health in the human body. There are better ways to support the immune system. And we know that now. You cannot inject health. You can't. So my goodness, I want to touch a little bit on the Tylenol thing because I covered this, I think it was last week, it might have been the week before, but I knew this was coming with the Tylenol thing. So I had explained how Tylenol impacts the liver and glutathione. So just kind of a recap of that. So Tylenol is processed in the liver. And it affects glutathione, which is your body's master antioxidant. So most of the acetaminophen you take is broken down in the liver into non-toxic compounds, which are excreted in urine. But a small fraction is converted into a highly reactive toxic byproduct called NAPQI. Under normal conditions, your liver uses glutathione to safely neutralize this toxin. Glutathione binds to the NAPQI, converting it into a harmless compound that may be eliminated, but your liver has a limited supply of glutathione. If you take too much Tylenol or take it regularly over time, glutathione stores get depleted. Once glutathione runs out, NAPQI starts binding directly to liver cells, proteins, and lipids. This causes oxidative stress, inflammation, cell death, liver toxicity, and even liver failure. So the focus here on detox pathways, open your detox pathways, right? We need open detox pathways. This is absolutely going to lead into the conversation about MTHFR gene mutation. Do we have a cohort of people who cannot detox properly, right? They don't have full capability of detoxing. It's going to get interesting. It's going to get interesting, but I've said this, I mean, probably, 10, 15 years ago. We have all this technology. We know epigenetics is real. We know what certain SNPs in our genome can do to our health, yet we don't test ourselves. Doesn't it seem like that would be something that we would do in the beginning to get a full workup of, what this body needs to thrive? What type of nutrition? What genetics are down-regulated so that we can eat to up-regulate them? Doesn't that seem like, that just seems like such a common sense approach. Knowing how to eat for your genetics seems like a powerful thing that we could do to turn the disease epidemic around in this country. This is where you get into trouble because you think, man, could it be that simple? And, so all the intellects, the experts will tell you, it doesn't quite work that way. That's not quite how it works. Oh, is it not? Let's try it. Let's try it. Come on. Nothing else is working. I say we try it. To know that you should be eating. Imagine that when Americans back away from eating for entertainment all the time, eating for pleasure, and we start eating for nutrition. We start eating to nutrify. What a difference. Understanding, you got to keep your detox pathways open. My goodness, I can't be exposed to all of this crap. I can't control what they're spraying in the skies, but I can control what I'm doing in my house. I can control what I put in my mouth. And let me tell you, that gives you a huge advantage. Right? There are variables we have no control over, but there are variables that we do have control over. And we should take control of them. If you want the best possible outcomes for your health, you must take personal responsibility for your health. Stop toxifying yourself. You're poisoning yourself. Don't let them poison you. Take your power back, right? Get up into that higher areas of the map of consciousness. All right, let's get into some news beyond what the White House is doing right now in real time. Mary Holland from Children's Health Defense, she was on this morning on a popular podcast. When we come back, I'm going to play you that clip because she was kind of prepping, but she's got some good news. Well, I think it's good news. So stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to visit with Mary Holland, a clip from her, and so much more. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm so glad you're here.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Welcome back. If you have not yet tried our cellular reset, I'm telling you, you need to try it. It's pretty crazy because I have my own testimony right now. I actually ran out of my cellular reset. And because we were off in Boston or whatever, I got my order. I delayed my order because I didn't want it to be shipped while we were gone and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I forgot to put it back in my cart. And so I missed it. So I've been without it now for a few days, 5, 6, probably a week, close to a week. And lo and behold, I tell you, my energy is down. And I was thinking to myself, what is going on here? Like, I feel tired. Yesterday, especially, I felt really tired. And I thought, man, it's just like, what is going on? Duh. That's what it was. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't been taking it for a few days. Anyway, it should be arriving any day. I can't wait to get back on it. But that's my testimony for you. That is, it is real results here. I'm talking about real results. Of course, it's a cellular reset's a powerful formula of polyphenols. And so it's an antioxidant and it just restores your balance, at a cellular level. So if you haven't yet tried it, I'm saying full force, go get some. Especially if you're dealing with fatigue or if you're dealing with blood sugar issues, any kind of like detox pathway stuff, this is the thing for you. Get the cellular reset at thenaturallyinspiredstore.com today. And if you buy it today, you'll be ready for tomorrow's weekly wellness workshop, because tomorrow night on our weekly wellness workshop for all of our customers, all of our community members, we're going to be talking about SSRIs. I think this is a very important topic given what we've seen with gun violence recently. And I have an interesting take on it. And I think you're really going to enjoy tomorrow night's weekly wellness workshop. So get plugged in, become a customer today, and you can join us tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Mountain Time on Zoom for a live presentation and a Q&A. You're not going to want to miss it. Get your cellular reset today. Let's go to Mary Holland's clip right off. She knew what was up, and don't misconstrue it. There's still a lot more to come. Like I said, I think this is going to happen in waves. Here she is, Mary Holland.
But to do it today, and then you're never going to see a report. It's just going to kind of fade into memory. Make me feel better, Mary Holland.
Well, I don't believe that, Steve. We're going to see a report, and Bobby Kennedy, whom I've worked with for many years, is really about data. He really is about science, and they haven't gotten all the data they need. I believe the data is going to show overwhelmingly that vaccines are the driver for vaccine-induced autism, vaccine-induced brain injury. But I agree with you. Today may be something of a sideshow. Tylenol is not the primary cause. Vaccines are the primary cause. We know that from lots of different sources of information. And we cannot let this go. And let me assure you, CHD is about ending the epidemics of chronic disease, as Bobby Kennedy is. And if this is a sideshow, we're not going to let this go. We're going to keep pushing that we have to keep going until we get the real data. The Vaccine Safety Data Link is the repository of information, and that has not yet been opened up.
So there's more data to come. So let me tell you, these people, Mary Holland's been working on this issue, and all the people at Children's Health Defense have been working on this issue for a very long time. They know. They already know. Can you imagine? It's like the wheels of justice just turning ever so slowly. They have the data. Okay, it's a matter of getting the data out to the public. And so this is not over. Yes, these announcements are important because they're the primary driver is it's exposure to toxicity. It's exposure to toxicity, and unfortunately, our children's one of their first exposures to heavy toxicity is via injection. So all dis-ease is coming from toxic exposure. It's coming from nutrient deficiency. It comes from those things creating inflammation in the body. A number of different things, variables contributing to that. Environmental exposure, right? Injection, nutrient bankrupt food, pharmaceuticals. Like there's a lot of variables here, but make no mistake about it. The primary driver of autism is vaccines. I don't know if we're ever going to hear that statement out of our government. Because again, the issue has been politicized, but not only that, the government backed the pharmaceutical industry with a document, a contract called, the Act in 1986. And that relieved the burden of liability from these corporations. And the government did that. So just by acknowledging this, now it's like, the government is in the wrong. Not only are the corporations are in the wrong, but the government is in the wrong. And then that opens the whole can of worms up for liability. So what can be done about that? I'm sure that's part of what's like holding up this announcement is what are they going to do about it to set it right? Let me tell you, vaccine court isn't going to cover it. The vaccine compensation plan, that ain't going to cover it. So I think that's probably part of the reason we may never hear the full admission. Sadly, I don't know that we'll ever hear the full admission, but I think it will become cultural, which is really what we need. I mean, it would be nice to have some type of system that takes care of the injured and pays for that care, some kind of justice for those people, for those families. Ugh, it just makes me sick thinking about it. That would be wonderful, but I don't know that they'll ever admit that. But that's why I always work and say that we have to be responsible for the change. We are responsible for shaping culture in the country. And if the culture becomes, we don't inject poison into our children, there's not going to be a lot anybody else can do anymore. Trust in these three-letter agencies, these health experts, is at an all-time low. It's up to us to be able to shape the culture. And that, I guess, is the win that we will have to take away, is the fact that everybody knows and that they act differently now. Vietnam, the interesting story out of Vietnam here. We'll wait till after the break to go to the clip, but I have always told you that I believed that COVID was really the kickoff to usher in so many different things. But one of the number one things I said that it was going to facilitate was digital ID for mass surveillance. And I don't think that is dead in the water yet. We have a new administration. Yes, things are really changing culturally. I feel like a lot of people are waking up. Some people are choosing to stay in cognitive dissonance. Some people are completely captured by the portal algorithm. We're all over the map here. But I do have to believe that a lot of people are waking up as well. And, during COVID, of course, we saw that kind of attempt to implement a digital passport, a digital ID to ensure health and safety. I don't think that idea is dead yet. They continue, the technology is there, and they continue to try to perfect it. Vietnam has adopted a digital ID. It's like the globalist blueprint, right? Without your compliance, you don't get to partake in society. And the mechanism that they're going to use to be able to make sure that they are mass surveilling is going to be the digital ID. The digital ID for, and it's not, so many people drives me insane. People are like, you already do everything digitally. You already have a digital banking account. I mean, you practically already have a digital ID. You have no idea. You have no clue what you're talking about there, because this is a whole different level. This is digital surveillance. This is do as we say, or we shut your life off. You cannot function. I'll tell you what I mean when we come back. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. So glad you're joining me today. See you in a minute.
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty. They're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them, and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Greska's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Greska C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Greska C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code TAMMY at checkout for a special discount.
Heard of oxygen training? This is really interesting stuff. LiveO2 delivers oxygen-rich performance right at home, helping you boost energy, recover faster, and feel your best at any age. It's like supercharging your body from the inside out. So learn more at liveO2.com or call 970-658-2789. I also want to tell you about our wonderful partner, Bob Greska, who joined us last week. He is the creator and innovator of Greska C60, and it's a powerful, pure carbon molecule that helps remove toxins and supports your healthy cells. Keeps you feeling your best. So you can order c60.com or you can call Bob or Sam at 720-600-6040. Don't forget to use promo code TAMMY, that's TAMMY, for a very special discount. We love our radio partners and are so grateful to be able to recommend and promote together with Naturally Inspired and local companies. You know, we love that. We love supporting small local companies. So proud to be partnered up with Greska C60 and LiveO2. Let's go straight to the clip. I want to share this little clip with you about Vietnam and the globalist blueprint for mass surveillance, also called digital ID. Here it is.
Why is Vietnam the testing ground for the new banking order? Well, recently, Vietnam imposed a requirement for a digital ID, including a biometric scan of everyone in order to have a bank account. And what they did to enforce this is they closed 86 million bank accounts and seized all of the assets in those accounts, So the owners of those accounts have no ability to do banking or access their funds because they chose not to sacrifice their privacy and submit to this biometric surveillance tracking mechanism. Well, this is not something that is going to stay in Vietnam. This is a test because if we look at, for example, what's going on with the European Central Bank and Digital ID initiative in Europe, as well as the Real ID and the CBDC system FedNow being imposed in the United States, we can see that it is coming to us as well.
Well, I'm surprised there was that many people that didn't submit or comply to the biometric ID to get their money, because I'm a little worried about here in America. And I'll tell you why I'm worried, because we have a culture here that was proven during COVID, proven that we actually, our priorities are kind of out of whack. They're kind of out of whack because we had over 70% of people who took the COVID injections, and not all of them, were eager to take it. I'm sure there was a small portion of that population that were eager to take it, that actually were living in the algorithm so deep that they thought that injection was going to keep them from dying. Amazing that would be the case. But I'm sure there's a small population of that 70+% that took the injection because of that. But I would venture to guess that there's a bigger group in that 70% that took it because they didn't want to lose their job. They didn't want to go without a paycheck. They didn't want to not be able to travel. They didn't want to be excluded from different groups because they didn't have it. I hope that we have grown since then, and that it would be much higher, right? Because I'll tell you, when everybody is forced to get on a biometric digital identification system, that's it. There ain't going to be any more freedom of choice. There isn't going to be any more freedom of this or that. I mean, we've already seen the fallout from when these powerful corporations can weaponize your compliance or non-compliance. Corporations are running this country. And so when they decide, oh, you're not going to comply, and you can't be on here anymore. That was the consequence to free speech. You want to talk free speech? All these people just crack me up. I just saw during the break that Jimmy Kimmel's coming back to his show. So what, was he canceled for like 3 days? I told you guys that had nothing to do with Trump, the way they were framing it. They were framing it like, oh, this is dictatorship. We can't let Trump do the free, take control. He's a dictator. But oh, come on. Money talks in this country, period. His ratings were super low. Then he got pulled. Do you think his ratings might go up because he's back now? I mean, the magical tactics these people use. Let's get a little bit more onto it here. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's already back on. So good for him, free speech. I still don't have a Facebook. I hate to keep bringing it up, but it's just people don't understand that real censorship happened to normal, everyday people. They got their voices shut off for talking about what your president of the United States is talking about right now today. These announcements. The information about how masks don't work, right? Like that, everybody knows that now. Masks don't work. That's what I got kicked off of Facebook for. Telling you that, hey, you know what? Instead of waiting till your lips turn blue and going into the death camp of AKA hospital to get more poison, remdesivir, and a tube shoved down your throat, vent, with a over 80% death rate, maybe want to live in prevention. Get outside. Make sure you're getting vitamin D, vitamin C, maybe a little quercetin. I don't give medical advice, but here's the research on this. A lot of doctors came on my show to talk about that. I mean, it wasn't me. I don't give medical advice, but like we had COVID, whatever it was. I don't know if it was COVID because I didn't need to test for it. Stop playing within their little circus, because that's precisely what it is. It's a circus, and they need your eyes on the tricks. They need your eyes on the show, or the show can't go on. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Dr. Kathleen Ruddy, this is a new doctor speaking out, and this is very, very interesting. Let's go straight to her clip so we have lots of time. This is Dr. Kathleen Ruddy on ivermectin and other off-label therapies for cancer. I said it. Here it is.
Yeah. Framingham, an observational study. The government, back in the day when the government was doing good work, went into Framingham, Massachusetts and said to 52,000 people or so, we would like to query you regularly every 2 years, and we're going to ask you more questions than you can even imagine can be asked. And we're going to collect data, and we're just going to follow you. We are not going to tell you what to do. We're not going to pass judgments. We're not going to give you protocols. We're just going to record the data. And the Framingham study is the reference for so many discoveries. So I said a Framingham study. A Framingham-type study in which the population are those patients with cancer who themselves have decided that they wish to use ivermectin and other repurposed medications, FDA-approved medications, and thanks to the 5th District decision in which the FDA defense attorney from the Department of Justice caved and had to admit that physicians and prescribers could prescribe FDA-approved drugs using their best judgment, patients can now, if they choose to take repurposed medications, can do so, and an observational study that records these data over a period of time, looking for a signal, a data set. The question is simple. Does ivermectin do these medications, ivermectin, mebendazole, nitazoxanide, metformin, sildenafil, long list, do these medications improve the survival of patients with cancer? And if the answer is yes, we have a few other questions that we'll be happy to pose and answer. Thank you.
So the reason why, so first of all, she couldn't get a study funded, but the reason why she wanted to do the study is because she was seeing, people in late stage cancers go into remission like she's never seen before. And, Dr. William Mackis will echo the same thing. There are now other brave doctors that are talking about this, but this should outrage you. That the very, mechanisms that are supposed to be for your health, set up for your health, they came out the gate captured, everybody. They were spawned as a way to work with corporations to maximize profits. That's why we see and hear stories of, the CDC being given a building by Coca-Cola. I'm telling you, they never actually were what you thought they were. And they certainly aren't now. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. Stay tuned, because I'm going to be talking about cholesterol for our health topic.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time. Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
I didn't even know what insulin resistance was until Tammy explained it to me. She gave me a clear step-by-step plan to lower it naturally, and now my energy, weight, and mood are all in a much better place. You know, coming off that story of cancer, gosh, if I only knew what I knew and what I know now, 15 years ago, it would have been so great. But let me tell you, insulin resistance is nothing to ignore. It is a signal that you are on the path to dis-ease. And it's time to get the train back on the tracks, It can be walked back. Lifestyle changes is the most powerful thing that you can do. But this is why, she mentioned in that clip, she mentioned off-label drugs, right? Things like metformin. Because your body's having a hard time. Like, all dis-ease comes down to how well your body is converting energy. How well are you putting the food that you put in your mouth? How well are you putting that to use? Your exposure to toxicity, your detox pathways, right? It doesn't cure everything, and I'm not saying cure here, but we've gotten so far away from common sense and what curates health. We've been lured and tricked into this synthetic model of what curates health. It's like basically if you drop all that stuff, I feel like drop all the synthetic stuff and go and move into a more natural lifestyle. I don't see how you can't do better. I really don't. Your exposure is what is causing a great deal of your issues. And I hope that moving forward, we will treat cancer like a metabolic disease that it is, because that's exactly what it is. So let's get into some cholesterol, though, because I've had a lot of questions about cholesterol and people get their numbers and, oh, I've got high cholesterol. Well, let me just clarify. So understanding cholesterol, why a full lipid panel matters. When most people hear cholesterol, they think of one scary number on a blood test. But cholesterol is not the villain it's been made out to be. It's actually essential for hormone production, brain health, cell membranes, even your ability to synthesize vitamin D. And the problem isn't cholesterol itself, it's what kind of cholesterol you have and how it's behaving in your body. That's why a lipid panel is so important. And a lot of people don't get a lipid panel. So what are they getting? They're getting like a total cholesterol read. A standard lipid panel breaks cholesterol down into different components. Total cholesterol, that's the sum of all cholesterol in your blood. On its own, this number is misleading because it's a high total, doesn't necessarily mean danger. So LDL, often called bad cholesterol, but that's really overly simplistic because there are different types of LDL particles. Small, dense LDL is more likely to damage arteries, while large, fluffy LDL is less harmful. So a standard panel gives total LDL, but advanced panels can differentiate particle size. HDL, high density, known as good cholesterol because it helps carry cholesterol away from arteries and back to the liver for recycling. Higher HDL is generally productive. Triglycerides, these are fats in the bloodstream, often elevated by sugar, by alcohol, and processed carbohydrates. Higher triglycerides are a strong risk factor for metabolic syndrome and heart disease. So ratios like triglycerides, HDL, or total cholesterol, HDL, often tell more about your true risk than a total cholesterol alone. So for example, a low triglyceride HDL ratio usually indicates healthy metabolism and a lower cardiovascular risk. So why the lipid panel matters? If you only look at a total cholesterol, you might get misled, which I think so many people have been. A person with high HDL and moderate LDL could have a high total, but actually be in great shape. Another person with normal total cholesterol, but high triglycerides and low HDL could be at much higher risk, and it would be missed without the breakdown. The lipid panel paints a full picture of how your body is handling fats and gives clues about insulin resistance, inflammation, and metabolic health. In the past, in the spawn of diet culture, we have been gravely misled. And diet culture, I mean, it is much to blame for the fact that we have an obesity epidemic. This low fat, no fat, 6-7 servings of carbohydrates in the form of processed breads and grains, low fat, no fat, small amounts of protein. This has created the disease epidemic on top of all the other variables. Just think about it. The injections on top of eating in this fashion. Medications that we've been led to believe heal. They don't heal. They don't heal. Only the body heals itself. What we are responsible for doing is creating the environment for healing. But you cannot force healing. A prescription does not heal, it covers, it masks, It buys time at best. I don't even want to say that because many people are on so many different medications. I can't tell you how many stories I have heard of people landing in the emergency room because they are on so many medications, and none of those medications have been screened for contraindications, meaning you shouldn't take this one with this one. 7, 8, 9 medications now, especially the elderly. And they're getting our children on these medications younger and younger. There is no such thing as a chemical imbalance in your brain. There is such thing as metabolic dysfunction. How do you fix metabolic dysfunction? You got to put in the work. You got to nutrify the body. You've got to open the detox pathways. You've got to control inflammation. You've got to limit exposure to toxicity. You've got to move your body. You've got to manage stress. You've got to work on your neural pathway loops, like we talked about at the top of the show. Some people are stuck on a loop over and over again. And if that loop is identifying with their diagnosis constantly, I am this, my asthma, my autoimmune disorder, my diabetes, my cardiovascular disease, my lupus, my what, fill in the blank. Ask yourself, who are you without that diagnosis? Start turning the pathways, right? Turning the neural pathways, opening up the possibilities. Because this whole system is designed to lock you in it, to keep those neural pathways on the same pathway. I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick. I'm saying, you know what? Stop. You're a human being. You were born whole. You were designed to thrive. You were designed to survive. Like this is in your DNA. You have communication coming from your body. They'll call it a symptom. I call it communication. Your job is to interpret that communication. What do I need to get back into homeostasis? Instead of fighting against your body, learn to work with your body. Instead of covering up, dig to heal. You've been listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert-Garcia. I am so glad you joined me today, and we'll be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock right here. See you then.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Nearly 40% of Americans struggle with a $400 emergency expense. An extra $300 a month can be the difference between stability and financial stress.
Are you feeling the pinch of rising expenses? Imagine what an extra $300, $500, or even $1,000 a month can do for you. Introducing a simple 3-step system designed to help you create a steady income without the overwhelm. Step 1, follow our easy-to-use plan. Step 2, take small, consistent actions. Step 3, stay motivated with weekly coaching designed to keep you on track and moving forward. Whether you're saving for a family vacation, paying down debt, or just looking for breathing room, this system is for you. You don't need special skills, just the desire to make change.
Join a growing community of success stories today. Visit simpleincome.info or text 720-764-7448.